Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your man, Asti Champ, and oh my goodness, I'm so excited to introduce you to another friend as we drop into another UsernameTaken custom build. To our emergent athlete grit with gaming passion to create the ultimate digital blueprint, and today we're sitting down with the powerhouse who's blazing trails on the field, in coaching, and even on a pageant stage, okay now? Please welcome to me to the UsernameTaken stage, football goddess herself, the catwalk assassin, Sandi James. Sandi, how you feeling, my friend?
I'm feeling amazing. This is awesome.
Hey, no.
Also with Aussie.
Hey, I'm just glad to have great company. So, I got to, bring the show in right. Shout out to everybody that's here. Of course, to support all the things that you're doing. I mean, you've been on top of, or I say at the forefront of such an amazing space. Right now, you see the DC Divas on her jersey. DC Divas is part of a women's professional football tackle organization out of DC, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And what's and you're in the middle of your season. Am I mistaken in thinking that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are. We have about 2 more regular season games left, and of course, we're trying to go to playoffs and championships. So yeah.
When you're kind of towards the end of the regulation season, what's the odds looking like to be making that kind of run?
Listen, I make no promises. However, I promise that we're going to give a good fight.
Okay. Yes. I love that. What has brought football to become such a big part of your life from going back? Like, were you always a football player? Or were you just an athlete in general? Were you just a lover of competition? Women's football, tackle football at that is as serious. You definitely have a lot of commitment to be out there doing what you do. What cultivated that?
Honestly, I wanted to feel empowered 100%. Like, I was not a football player. Like, a little secret, I didn't even watch football before I started playing it at all. Like, it did not keep my attention. I think because I didn't know what was going on most of the time. And then there was so many people on the field. And the only time we really watched it was when it was like a big game and, like Super Bowl, things like that. And I was there for the commercials. But then I felt like I needed something more than basketball to kind of like empower me, to make me feel more like, like powerful more so, because like with basketball was fun. It was my life. Like, I played basketball for Wake Forest. Like, basketball was my life for so long, but I wanted a change. I wanted something that was almost like trailblazing in a sense. And of course, hearing about women playing football, no one hears about that, at least back then. But when I started playing, that was my mission, was to make sure that I was able to get a tiny little football in every little girl's hand, and that we were on everyone's TV and everyone was talking about us. So
I love that. What was playing basketball like in growing up? Was it something that you were instantly drawn to or put in as like youth programs as a kid, or when did that journey first start with you on the basketball side?
9th grade.
Okay, wow.
It was the summer of my 9th grade year. Yeah, I was a late bloomer. I didn't play any sports, didn't watch any sports. I think I was playing like tennis when I was like a little kid, but like that was just like for fun, like rec type stuff. But really playing sports, I did not find basketball until then.
Oh, I want to say late start because every start's a great start, I don't want to.
Yeah, but that's very late in the athletic world.
Yeah, they usually use like your ball is life from a really young age. So that's really cool that you got to, have a successful run.
You want to hear something funny?
What's that?
Video games were my life. So me playing video games is not a new thing at all. So put it like this. I started with like playing the video games like all throughout my childhood. I was raised by like my uncle and my aunt. And so they would when he would come home from work, he would bring me a new game. So I had every game you could think of for Sega, every game you could think of for Nintendo.
Okay.
And I was playing. And then after that, when I ended up moving with my mom, she was like, okay, you need to study the SATs so you can get into college. Yeah. So I completely dropped the sticks for like a decade.
The cold turkey? Just out of the regiment?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool. You switching your focus like that.
Uh-huh.
You said like when it's time to lock in, like I'm gonna lock in.
And I did.
I think when we spoke, one of your first games that you really were introduced to or that you spent a lot of time on was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
How
Yes, that was my
how
favorite.
much fun did you have like on the more classic Sonics, the side scrolling Sonics, and then into like the when it got into the Sonic DX and the Sonic Adventure and that next generation?
Yeah.
I gotta know because I love Sonic myself, so you got to
Yeah.
really enjoy both eras
I
of
was
it.
the earlier versions. Mine was the
Hmm.
earlier versions. I
Okay.
think I got to maybe Sonic and Tails at that time
Okay.
because again, it was that major block for like a decade of when I didn't play anything. I didn't even own a system at
Yeesh.
that point.
When you were in your
So
college,
like,
you didn't even have a gaming
mm-mm.
system
I mean,
around.
I would play sometimes with the no. Mm-mm. I would play with the boys sometimes, like when they would play like Madden and stuff, or what was it? The college one. I forgot what it was called, but it was the college version of it, and like
Yeah,
they would play that. They would make their players, but that was the extent of it. Nothing else.
man. Well, we got to get you because I think I don't know if you've ever had a Chow Garden. Did you ever get into the Chow Gardens on the Sonic
No, I
games?
don't know what that is.
Oh, oh yeah, we gotta get you. We gotta get it in your hands. That. It's like this the cutest. We're gonna bring it up. It's gonna be all over the place right now. The chows.
I'm down.
That's the spot. Yeah, you're gonna be right. When you're coming back out soon. I know you're gonna come see me in Vegas. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
have to. I
I'm gonna
have
make
to.
sure that the first thing that she does chat is she's gonna be playing some Sonic Adventure 2 battle or something and
Yes.
and
Yes.
seeing how
And we
Sonic.
gotta play together.
Yeah, well, Sonic evolved just, and I feel like it went through another evolution where it hasn't, it's doing this thing, but
Hmm.
it never got to the place I feel like the original Sega generation brought it to. And that was like a
Yes.
really clean moment in time that I'm
Yes.
hoping they recapture again. But I digress. We talking about Sonic I could talk about that forever. I could definitely got to know how you sped run through not only becoming somebody that was prolific in sport. People knew when you was around that the competition was on. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Mhm.
going to be an easy day to get the win off of you. You know what I'm saying? What
No, and
made
then
you?
I'll just smile at you afterwards.
But what made you kind of find your voice so easily in that space and become a leader around your peers and even though you weren't sports bred like some of these kids were, where they were 3 years old already being told like you missed a layup, like
Right.
where how were you already able to kind of find your voice and feel like you could help move people forward?
I always came in with a mission.
Mhm.
My first mission growing up, of course, was to get to college, get to whatever my dreams were at that time, which honestly was to be a model. So I wanted to go to college to be a model, but you don't go to college and get a degree to be a model. Like, where does that fit? But I wanted to do that. But then as my motivation shifted with football, my motivation was more so to elevate the game. And
Mm.
again, to get a tiny football in every little girl's hand, because I always feel like women just need access and opportunity to different endeavors, especially the ones that are more so male driven. So yeah, that's my motivation now, and it has been for the last 10 years.
And did Mama James have that same kind of voice and passion in the world and agency in the world, and you learned from her, or was that
Yes.
something?
She
Oh,
was
okay,
very much, I don't take no for an answer. So
okay.
I live by that.
She taught you to take the space you need because you're going to respect the space you
Yes.
take, but take the space you need. That's that.
And work every avenue, go, be there at every table, create your own tables, all of that.
When you were going through school, what was balancing the sport and the public life? If that, because I know pageantry was a big part of your experience, and service is a big part of when you're living in that world,
Hmm.
making sure that you're out and advocating for the things that you believe in and put in action behind those things past advocacy, right? What
Yes.
was it like balancing the school and the athletics and the social stuff and the social work and like all that amazing stuff?
Honestly, I think that it was easier for me because I've always been in go mode. Always. All my life, I'm in go mode now. Never really let up off the gas because, again, I have so many dreams. And, like, my dreams to most are probably outlandish. But I don't see it that way. I see it as, this is something that I really want to do, and it's something that I know will help, like you said, with the service, that will help other people. And it's not just about the football, it's just my brand, period. My brand is very much women's empowerment, dream big, like all of those like kind of cliche things, but they do kind of encompass who Sandi is. Back to like the pageant part, the reason why I joined the pageant was because I wanted, it kind of mixes very loosely. It kind of mixes like being a model and an athlete in a sense, because again, you're on go mode. It's like you have certain, looks about you that you have to give, certain poise and things like that. But I wanted women, or just people in general, to know that you can be both. You can be both fierce on the football field in a brutal sport, and you can be fierce on the catwalk or the pageant stage. Right. And it helps me more so present myself to the world, and then also present women's football to the world in a different place and a different setting and audience. So that's,
what a perfect blend of what you were already trying to do, that, you were able to say, like, this is everything, a little bit of everything I want. And it just, was able to serve as a platform for you, because you gotten to do so many amazing things since then, right?
Yes.
That's dope.
Very much so.
You're speaking earlier about, before we kind of turned on the mic, that this was going to be your last professional tackle football season, right? This one here.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yes. That is so exciting to not only, of course, have that like clarity of knowing when the chapter is closing and not being forced out of it, but just knowing what you're about to be doing with the agency that's opening up. That's really beautiful.
Yes. I mean, am I happy to retire? I don't really think anyone is really happy to retire, ever. But am I at peace with it? Sure, very much so. I mean, I know my knees are at peace with it, because they are crying for some help and for me to sit down finally. But I also feel like I can't do both. It was very tough this year to build a college program from bare bones scratch to, what it is today. Like, I have 14 girls on my roster right now. And like, that was tough trying to balance, home, the team, the football team, like the football team I play for, and pageant. So those are all the things that I'm doing as we speak. Like, literally, I remember one of the games this season. After the game, my teammates were like, "Why are you putting rollers in your hair on the bus?" Because I have pageant practice tomorrow, which was the next Sunday. Like, I'm always on the go. So if me retiring right now, at least, is like the best thing for me, my family, and for my new team now, which is Mount St. Mary's. So.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, even speaking of that, perfect segue. Our first female head coach of Mount St. Mary's. Am I mistaken in thinking that?
Yeah, for flag football. Mm-hmm.
Huge.
And the first D1 on the East Coast. Only the second in the country.
Okay, say that. I knew it was a lot of amazing things after just that one line. And just another trailblazing aspect of all the awesome things that you're doing, right? So, yeah, I know that... like you said, nobody wants to retire, but like, can it even count as retiring with all the great paths that you have set for yourselves and all these people you're still going to be mentoring in that space, and that
right.
Yeah,
it's not retiring.
It's going to take a long time to push Sandi out of there. I know that.
Yeah. Only thing is that really the only difference is I'm still going to be a part of the Divas. I'm still going to be there a lot. But the only difference is that I won't necessarily suit up, at least not in the manner that I did before. So that's fine in its sense, but, of course it's bittersweet. It's retiring, like, from something that has brought you joy for 10 years. And it was 10 years within, like, my formative years. Like, I started at, like, 29. And, before that, you're still... I'm not going to say you're a kid, but you're still a very young adult, very young-minded adult.
Young adult.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at 29, it was like, those were my years to kind of like lock in on life, to gain friendship, to become the woman that I am today. And so leaving something after 10 years of the most important block, I feel like in a person's life, is it can be gut wrenching sometimes, but I know that I'm not putting down the football. So again, I'm at peace with it. So, again, it won't be in the same capacity. My knees will be my best friend again, and then we'll be okay.
Well, at the day we're taping this, you have a game coming up on Saturday, this coming Saturday,
yes.
right? After that game, how many more games until you're more in your postseason of this league?
So after this game on Saturday, we play another game that's part of regulation, and then playoffs, and then championship.
Woo! Okay. All right. Well, I'm hoping for a wonderful run through this bracket for you, and just that you continue to have great health in your knees to get you through to the end. Because I'm already knowing. I did that twice, and the knees have you extra scared. Not on a sport level, but in a place where the knees were needed, and you was like,
I see what you did there.
I hope they're gonna be up under me when I need them. Because what? Oh gosh.
Listen, I have a pageant coming up in September. I need my knees to cooperate because I want to win Big Crown this year. Before, when I ran in 2023, I won a Cover Girl Crown, but I want to win the Big Crown. So I need my knees to cooperate.
And we are manifesting the biggest wins already. Like I said, in football and pageants, you have so many amazing paths that you're walking down. Ones that we'll also talk about in a little bit, even more in line with that gaming. But after a quick break, we're going to come back with even more of Sandi's gaming journey. We got to talk about some of these narrative-based games that really shaped how she viewed the world. And even though she took that hiatus, how that ended up coming back full circle into some of the things that she's building today. We'll be right back after this. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your man, Oski Chip, and I'm here at the HyperX Arena, so excited to introduce you to our brand new chair partner, Eureka Ergonomic. Right here, you can see the Python 2, more traditional gaming chair. The thing that stands out to me, of course, is this beautiful material that they created with, super easy to clean. And then on top of that, this movable platform that gives you your lower lumbar support is so adjustable. It moves, meets you exactly where you're at for all those clutch moments. We also have the Typhoon Hybrid model, which is amazing. It is so adjustable, everything from the head to the lower lumbar supports, just a way that you're able to even move the seating area forward and backward for people that want to put their legs out further in front of them. Truly an amazing piece of smart furniture with an ergonomic S-curve that is unparalleled in the industry. Now, I could talk about these chairs all day, but what you can do is go to our landing page on eurekaergonomic.com to get your hands on these chairs yourself. That's all from me. Peace. All right, everybody, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the quick message from our sponsors. The best chairs in gaming, you already know. Gotta go visit the links below. Get your own Eureka, get comfortable, best furniture have in your house. I mean, even the couches, some of the couches I've seen, I'm like, got to demo and they were out here is a little... let me stop though, because you already know we're still in the building with the homie Sandi James. She's out here resting, a rest day, I guess, because you've got to get ready for the week of training and preparing for the football weekend. Got to get, but let's see. Is gaming a part of that rest and that relaxation? You going to be playing any games?
Definitely. Right now, I'm trying to beat. So I'm trying to work on a campaign with Halo, and it's interesting to none the least, because remember, I'm very much a console player, but now I'm trying to learn kind of like the controls of, having the hand on the mouse and then the hand on the keyboard. And that is interesting to me, but because everything in me is like, go get your controller, but you have to learn how to use the laptop.
You do. So, but you also need to make sure you out here stretching, because it is, and
I do.
It is it's a taxing trade but once you get fully locked and you spend your hours that you need to mind to muscle that, you'll be very happy you did.
Yes. Yes.
Nice. So Halo, are you on the first one on this run through on the campaign, or are you just trying from the beginning?
Yeah. I just started over,
Yes. Okay. Did you play Halo at all? No, it kind of came out probably when you were on your hiatus of gaming.
And it did.
I know.
No,
it did.
I did not play it. This is my first go around playing Halo. I'm familiar, of course, with first person shooter games and stuff. That's not an issue. And Halo kind of gives me that first person shooter plus adventure. So it's it's pretty cool, you know.
Oh, it had a grip.
And
It had a grip
collecting
on the
all the guns and
society.
stuff.
There was
Yes,
a lot of people plagued by that game's existence. They had way
yes.
more thoughts about being there on Xbox Live with friends, jamming out on some Halo. But before that, and before that generation, you were interested, of course. We spoke on earlier about playing some of those narrative based games that you were already playing games that were more about the story than the competition, right? And I'm really curious because people, of course, like I didn't even realize until the success of The Last of Us that really happened on the TV run that it's been having, that people weren't even aware that games with stories and interactive elements per se, not you competing with anybody or the boss isn't really hard, but like you're crying because your main character that you've helped pilot through this story has just been going through some. What was the first game that made you really feel like that, like a really strong narrative connection?
I would say Heavy Rain. The game Heavy Rain, mostly because, well, Heavy Rain and Detroit were probably my favorites, but Heavy Rain mostly because that was the very first one I played that was like that, where it's like every decision is a decision that, you know, your characters could die. So my first time, because I like to play games over and over again, especially when it's a different outcome, and I'll choose make different choices. I remember I had a character die. And I didn't know, because, you know, when characters die in a game, it's like no one bats an eye. But at the very end of Heavy Rain, there was a news broadcaster that said, oh, and, you know, so-and-so, it was a woman. They said so-and-so passed in a car crash or something.
You said, ain't no way.
That. It felt so bad. Same with Detroit. Like, I didn't get really, no one really perished in that game, but so if you ever watch or play Detroit, you'll see that there is a narrator essentially, or the woman at the beginning. I forgot her name because it's been so long since I played it, but I lost her. So when I went back to play the game again, it's just a white screen because I set her free. Like, that was natural to me. It was like, okay, robots, you get rights. You go ahead and be free. Right. And now I have no robot. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
How do I play this game without the robot?
Isn't it? Yeah. The deeper narratives that the deeper storytelling elements that they imbue into what people thought were just silly video game, you know, silly pastimes. Yes. It's become like these interactive novels of like, you know, sometimes
like movies.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of these cutscenes, you know, you could of course watch people do things like games done quick where they're flying through stuff, but I think sometimes like, you know, like to find some of these games that tell some beautiful stories. It's actually like you play it on easy, on beginner. You don't even have to play it on hard or be competitive with yourself. But you know, and it's just like so much art and so much energy and resources were put into to bringing that to life. And I'm glad that that's something that you found. Have you played Detroit Become Human yet?
That is the one I was talking about. Oh, okay. When I lost my robot.
Oh, okay.
The main lady at the front. Yeah.
Yeah, I
know
I
lost her because I set her free.
Oh yeah. No, didn't they revive it recently? Like they remastered it or something.
I think they may have remastered it. Maybe if I play the remastered version, I'll get her back and then see how that goes. But knowing me, I'm like a big staff. I'll probably set her free again.
Have you played any like the Fallout games or any of those other big kind of?
I haven't gotten around to it. Okay. The other game that I guess is like similar to those is Beyond Two Souls. Have you played that?
Yeah, well, I've heard of it. I've not played that game. I fell victim to competitive really gaming for much too long. That
really,
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of hours spent playing games that are competitive that didn't have the best story per se or any story at all, you know, but it definitely.
I think the difference for me, like I didn't have anyone to play with a lot, so I would find the one-player games or the two-player optional games. And so that's how I found those because again, they were kind of like a movie. Two, you didn't know what was going to happen at the end because there is no direct storyline for it. And then three, I think that it was more of like, kind of like a mystery to me because again, a lot of people didn't play these games. And if they did, they didn't really talk about it. All you heard about was like the Call of Duties, the Maddens, the Halos, the NBA 2K. Like that's all you ever heard of. That's all people play. And that's fine. It's great. But when you don't have anyone else to play with or interact with like that, you kind of have to find it on your own. And that's what I did.
Yeah, I was lucky to kind of get a PC, first a custom build, and then kind of learn at like my 9th grade year. And I, had a little community of people that online gaming kind of started getting its legs, right? Where there's a lot of games that you can play, like PvP. And so I got to play a lot of games against silly people around the world and act like I was good for when I was, caring. But those games are really fun too. But I wish that I would have spent more time playing some of these gorgeous games. I mean, now I have time, which is awesome. I have a great backlog of games that I'm walking through. But it's I'm happy to see that was something that grabbed you early. Did you have, in your family, where do you fall on like the family tree of your brothers, sisters? You have brothers and sisters?
I have a brother.
One brother.
He's younger.
A younger brother. So you got to be big sis too. He had a lot of games in the house and was going crazy?
He did relatively, but of course they were the competitive games. I would play with him a little bit and kind of show him a couple moves and stuff. But I would like to say that I was better than him at playing the competitive games. We're just gonna say that. It was a lot of racing games.
Like it was like Need for Speed or like Forza? Need for Speed? Okay, man of culture. Okay. I love it. Well, I gotta know. So you're still playing games, right?
Absolutely.
And is there any like gaming creators or people that are playing games that you kind of follow, like that you like to watch them, or like streams or anything like that?
I don't have any gamer people just yet because I'm still kind of like trying to get back into the swing of it all. Okay. So yeah, I don't have any specifically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got to get you some recommendations. We'll have to figure out some.
I mean, I got to say my man Amon Green because he killed it at the tournament.
Say that.
Listen,
Amon is that's a real gamer right there. That man he'll sit there for 8, 10, 12, 16 hours if you don't stop him. Yeah. He will. Now I got to figure this out real quick. It's just I jumped a little too early. Yeah. I'm like, man, Amon, I love it. Yeah,
like, go to sleep.
No, and that's one of the things we got to realize when a lot of these people that are at the top of their game in sports right now go into this chapter, really getting integrated with the leaderboards. Better watch out. These people better watch. Listen, you're not safe. You got some real tacticians coming out here to start shaking some stuff up. Wait till these hands get right.
Every skill possible that I use on the football field, the basketball court, the volleyball court.
Right.
I'm telling you, they're all translatable, like for real. Like regardless if it's e-gaming versus physical gaming, listen, it's all transferable, and I plan to use that.
Well, we've talked a bit about how you want to create space, of course, in football, the tackle football, the sports world for the women. Taking it to another level, even than what people traditionally would think to have, people or women competing in. How do you see yourself kind of being able to do that same thing in a new space as you're kind of transitioning, right? And then also in a gaming space, because we have, of course, the Alumni Esports Network that's coming, that's creating space and content. And you have, like I said, your new chapter that you're walking into. What does that kind of look like for you?
I guess it's one of those things where I'm happy to see it flourish, mainly because, I'm about to come on to retirement. I'm going to have more time on my hands because I'm probably going to get into something else as per me. But for me, I feel like the explosion of not only like women in football, but also with the alumni network, it was like, I'm just happy to see that we're not just seen as physical athletes. Like we are a plethora of other things. We wear very many, like I know I wear many crowns, and I want other people to see that you don't have to just be one thing, And then I'm excited about the people that are coming after me to say, oh, if she could do it, I could do it. Like that's my favorite thing in the world. Like I'm telling you, if I can put in the time to not only be able to play on the field, walk in a pageant or a show, and get on the sticks every day with you, like I am still a human. I'm still a regular person. I still have goals. And a lot of those goals are to beat you in sports, whether it's esports or field sports. Like, I want to do it all. And I want everyone to know that they can as well. You know, I want to gain the skills for a lot of the sports games because I'm not the best at the sports games. I will admit, it's like too many moving parts for me. But you put in like, I don't know, a couple of the other games that we mentioned, or even like more of like the adventure games, I'm there. Even like, what is it? One of the games I was going to play was World of Warcraft. I always wanted to play that.
You've never played World of Warcraft?
I haven't gotten around to it. No,
nice.
I've never even seen it played.
Oh no,
I know.
You're headed towards a beautiful, all-consuming place. I'll say that much. Yeah,
I believe it.
And it's worth. I feel like, especially if you've never gotten an experience like that, there's a reason that World of Warcraft has stood the test of time. You know, it has its critics and it has its people that want to say X, Y, and Z, but you know, that game is still here and it's still strong. It's still millions of people playing. Huge community, of course, of awesome, you know, content and explanation. You know, if I want, how can I min-max this stat spec? I don't understand anything about this skill tree I'm looking at. Explain this to me. There's like real people that will help you and meet you where you're at, and they're not, you know, oh my gosh, you don't understand how to spec a holy paladin. You know, like, no, they're not going to be like, it's like, oh my gosh, new people. I can't wait to teach you about this. And you know, and then you could join me in a raid, and you know, I'm not mad if you're the reason we fail. That mad. If, you know?
Exactly.
That's awesome.
That's what I'm trying to do.
That's dope. So World of Warcraft's on the list. We got Sonic. We got to get you on a new age Sonic game. Not. Yes. I want to get you on the newest age Sonic games. I'm sorry if anybody in there's mad about that, but we got to get her in the golden age Sonic games. And
I miss it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. We're gonna keep that list running. That's for sure. And when you come out here next, I'll have it all set up here at the HyperX Arena in a room. You just you know.
I'm down. Yeah, just bring me snacks and juice. I'm good to go.
Okay, well, for our friends that don't know what we do here at UsernameTaken, I've been taking all this data and all these stories. We've been inputting it into our UsernameTaken algorithm, and we've been creating a custom build for Sandi through this. And we're going to be donning her with her own username. You don't have to use it. You have some good use. Actually, I want to talk about your usernames. You got some awesome usernames yourself. We got to chat about those. But we're going to give one for our cast. We're gonna have a yearbook of all of our UsernameTaken custom builds, and you're going to be in there immortalized with our name as well as your name. But I get into that after, like I said, I got to know about your usernames. You go by two different names out there. You go by Football Goddess from what I've seen, which, duh. And then Catwalk Assassin, Catwalk Killer. Actually, you're past killer. You're killer for hire. You gotta. I've cultivated these skills. What drew you to those names, and when did you create them? After ninth grade, at least these names were created. No.
Okay, so both of the names were created recently. Only reason why is because one, I've always gone by iFlare for any platform you go on. You'll see iFlare there, anything. But I was like, I kind of want to put something that's towards, like, I guess that kind of makes sense for what I do. Football Goddess, duh, I'm a football player.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But the Catwalk Assassin, so one thing about me in football, I would say football. So I used to play for another team, the Baltimore Nighthawks, and their colors were purple, so it was matched after the Ravens. I used to wear purple lipstick in the game. In every game, it would stay on the entire time. I had the perfect lipstick for it. Now that I'm on the Divas, I wear like a deeper red. So it's like this red, just a little bit deeper, that I wear every single game. So the Catwalk Assassin to me is like, listen, I'm going to put your helmet in the ground. But then when you look at me, you're going to be even more mad because you're like, this girl got a lip.
Not her beating me up. I'm dead.
Exactly. That's my goal. Yes. That's what cracks me up about it, because it's like, field, I would probably go home at that point. Like, because why wouldn't I? That's so, and then, like I said, I model as well. So it's like, I'll sit there and I'll just probably walk off just all nice. Like, help you, I'll pat you on the head because I'm tall. And then kind of just walk off.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I
So
love
I
it.
just think it's funny. Like, you'll never like suspect me because I'm like very jolly and like happy all the time. And then it's just like, oh my gosh, she just literally murdered me on the field. What am I going to do? And then she has on this lipstick. Like, who does that? But listen, I'm the only one that do it. Every single game, every game I played, I've had on either purple or red. So
who's somebody that you've played either on the field with or off the field with that met you with that same fire that made you feel like, oh, they just put my helmet in the dirt and walked away, and I'm getting bodied. Like, hold up.
Listen. Okay, so her name is Becky Smalls, or we always call her Smalls. So she is literally one of my favorite players because I've always wanted to be like her. She's tall like me. She's not as tall, but she is very tall. She always played left tackle on the O-line. I used to play left tackle on the O-line. She was like captain for like ever since she probably was born. And she's always made all-star. She's always been really good. And I wanted to be just like her because her demeanor is very like, and then she just like, battles somebody else on the field or, pancakes them. And you're just like, wait a minute, like, you're just very nice and like chill. Like, she's very mellow. You're going to get a couple words out of her, if that. But I loved it because it kind of ties into the catwalk assassin in a sense, because you're kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you don't have to always be the loudest person on the field. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room per se, but your aura, your meaning, like everything about you just kind of exudes like confidence in any setting at that, and that's why I like her a lot. So now she's one of the coaches now. So I was just grateful I had to go against her because again, she was a left tackle on the offense and so was I. So we never had to battle each other. But now that I'm on defense, I'm glad that she doesn't suit up anymore.
You said I would have been definitely learning a lot of harsh lessons out there pressing her on the line. Because what?
Yes. No, thank you. I'm good. No, you're not about to put. I am the tallest, biggest player that has ever played women's tackle football. Do you know how embarrassing it would be to get my head smashed into the ground by someone that's shorter? Granted, she's not that much shorter, but my goodness, no, thank you.
No,
I'm good. I'm glad I'm retiring. She better not come out of retirement either.
So look, because I'm leaving with a flawless record out here. Nobody came up under me like that. Saying
yes.
Is there?
And I guess there's like one more player, like Lois Cook. She is. Oh my gosh, I love her because she's definitely a trailblazer. So like, again, she's back to the catwalk assassin. She's like very pretty, very dainty. She's very like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to find the opportunities for these young girls. And I love that about her, So I have the on-field and the off-field version of both my catwalk assassins.
I love it. That's like your whole clan, your guild. So you got your guild. If you try to be like on that energy of we slay and you will be laid out when you come and cross us, whether it's wrong or correct, like that's my squad. That's my birds and my feather. Like, hey, well, I think we got plenty of information to input into our system, and I think we could even come up with a little bit of something to show to you after this break, breaking down your custom build and even your special UsernameTaken username. And I will be right back with that right after this break. brand new drink that we've been offering. I'm gonna make a guess on which flavor of Prime I think it is. You can head up to the server or a bar to get some Prime yourself, but let's get into this. Let's guess. Oh, that's gotta be the ice pop, for sure. I know my son, he loves that one. Super red. I can taste the red. Yeah, that's Tropical Punch for sure. I'm gonna lock in Tropical Punch on number 2. Strawberry banana. Absolutely. That one that is probably my favorite one. Hello? Oh my gosh, I need like a palate cleanser. Is that Meta Moon? Hold up. Okay, yep, that's my blue. That's my tried and true. Hey, I think I got them all right. 5 out of 5. Take a peek. Yup. Okay, ice pop, tropical. 5 out of 5 from the champ. Hey, you already know you gotta go order some Prime yourself. Let me know which flavor you like the best, and I'll see you around the arena. Welcome back, welcome back. I think we've got enough time and I've crunched the numbers to get ourselves ready to display our custom build to Sandi today. But before we do that, I just gotta say, thank you so much for joining us today. And these are a little glimpse and taste of your story, but we're creating a bunch of content together over the next couple months and through the year and to next year, if I'm not mistaken, through the Alumni Esports Network. And people are gonna get a lot more chances to ask about you and learn about you and ask us what they wanna know about us over these next months. Are you excited for that?
Yes, very much excited. It's another part of trailblazing.
Hey, on top of that, and I know we kind of spoke on it a bit earlier, but I know that you're going to be really keen on bringing people around you and uplifting and creating space for people that haven't had access or felt it was foreign or felt they didn't have a voice. And I can't wait to see that growth in the esports space, because I know we're craving people just like that. But without further ado, Sandi, I want to show you our custom build. It's coming through from our friends. Let me... And, ooh.
Oh.
Okay, Sandi.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
You told us a lot about you, of course, and we learned a bit. We got some stats that we came through with that about. Here we go. A legendary trailblazer such as yourself, of course, getting 10s in aspects like leadership and endurance and the strength. Endurance at 9. I know you said them knees was hurting. But the constitution, your health that you spec'd into at a 9. I know your tactics are up there, but this is on the custom build side. We know we're still getting you on your competitive side of gaming, so you're ready, primed to move that number up as we see you get onto the competitive games. And the synergy, of course, 10 out of 10. Always a pleasure working with you, from everybody that we touched base with to verify our sources before we went forward. But that's Sandi James, the football goddess. Are we mistaken in this?
No, we're the football goddess, baby.
Well, we also wanted to give you our own custom username. Of course, football goddess, catwalk assassin is what you've built, but through what we've learned from you, we also came up with our own username. And that username, the username that we've chose for you, the UsernameTaken team, the soothsayer. I know that you talked about being the one that you go to when you need the answers, the oracle, if you will.
Yes.
The oracle, right? So here on the UsernameTaken side, we of course will give you your usernames. We're not taking those from you, but we will always remind ourselves of you as the soothsayer, and we just appreciate for you having given us your time and your energy and letting us have some creative with all that journey and trying to put it into a digital version for you.
Thank you. This was amazing.
And everybody, you already know, we spoke about her username a little bit earlier, iFlare, at iFlare. We're going to have that down below. Everybody can make sure you tap in with Sandi. She's doing amazing things, and you got to follow her through the rest of this season as well. We got to see how far you go, and even though no matter how far you take it on this regular season, I know you're going even further with it in this next chapter, and I can't wait to be a part of that. Is there anything that you want to say to the people that have gotten to this point in the episode?
I would say honestly, send all your spirit fingers for the rest of our season.
Hey, we're doing all of that. Follow them over at DC Divas. This is, like you said, your last season, maybe playing with them, but you're definitely going to be close and a big part of driving that culture forward even in the future. And you're also over there at Mount St. Mary's. If you're in the area, make sure you go catch a flag football game. Go see Coach Sandi doing her thing.
Yes.
It's going to be really awesome to see as that fall season starts. Are you guys playing fall?
No, it's going to be spring. So spring 26.
Oh, spring 26. So you get a lot of time. Mm-hmm. You're going to be developing. Let's go. I'm so excited. Hey, everybody, make sure you give a subscribe to the channel. Make sure you give love, of course, to Sandi. Like I said, links below. And we appreciate your time once again, Miss Sandi James, for joining us. But that's it for another episode of UsernameTaken Custom Builds. We'll see you guys again next week with another amazing friend, athlete, creators, breaking down who they are and all the custom things that they spec their life into and bringing out even more custom builds your way. Sandi, have a wonderful day. We'll see you.
Thank you.